I did my research. I did my research. But there are still 8 things that I didn't know that I wish I did before buying my Tesla. Welcome back to the Cobra Pit, whether you're a longtime viewer or a newer subscriber like Gary Gene Gaines. I see you. I really do appreciate every single one of you taking time out of your busy day to stop by. If you're like me, you do tons of research before buying a big ticket item, and especially when it comes to Tesla, you want to know as much as you can before you get into it. But there still were some things that I missed that I wish I knew before getting it. That means I did some deep digging, so it won't be things like how to open your door or look at these panel gaps, the production quality is horrible. So let's see what they are. Number 1, how to save money. I bought my Model X brand spanking new, paid full price. Amazing vehicle, right? Worth every penny in my opinion, but I could have gotten it much less expensive. I saved $4,200 by buying my Model 3 with only 300 miles. Now technically this is used, but with only 300 miles and $4,200 off, it's new enough for me and a hard to pass price. This was a car that was returned within a 7-day window for whatever reason, and I found it through a private inventory that only employees have access to. It's not the general certified pre-owned site that you can find online. I made sure to inspect the vehicle before accepting delivery to make sure that the quality was up to my satisfaction, and it was perfect. That video is right here if you're interested. Number 2, Glitchy Software. Many say that Teslas are computers on wheels, which is cool, but there's times where computers get glitchy, and there's no difference here when it comes to Teslas. They have glitchability. It's not a big deal, but it can get annoying. From unresponsive to self-resetting displays, sometimes at the worst time. Like if you're on the freeway or right before you want to leave and the car is hot and you need that AC on ASAP. Here's one instant when I was listening to the music and then I put on the Laker game, but the audio from the music kept playing in the background and I couldn't change the volume of the Laker game. There's also phantom object detection with the door sensors and the camera being block warnings. There's also the occasional issue of random aggressive braking when on autopilot. Now these glitches don't happen often. If they did, it would be a deal breaker. But when they do happen, they're really annoying. There's nothing that I could have done differently, but it would have been nice to know so I could mentally prepare for this. Really annoying. Number 3, the audio performance. While I knew that the Standard Range Plus partial premium audio wasn't as robust as the more expensive models, I didn't realize that it was as lackluster as it is. It's very noticeable because I have the premium audio in the Model X and the sound is rich, full, and hits the highs and lows with great balance. The Standard Range Plus has the same front speakers as the long range and performance models, but that's where the similarities end. Depending on the manufacturing date, the rear speakers are either there and disabled or completely missing. There's no sub or amp, or there's no immersive sound option in the menus. Maybe if you only hear the audio of the Standard Range Plus model, it may be good enough to satisfy your acoustic needs, but it's definitely a step down. If I would have known that I didn't like it this much, I could have taken that into consideration when maybe thinking about upgrading to another model or factoring in the price of some aftermarket products that might help it out. Really quickly before we get to number 4, I'd like to talk about this video sponsor. It's 100% sponsored by me. The easiest way possible to support the channel is just hitting that like button or subscribing if you like this content, or you can use my referral link if you do decide to get a car or solar panels from Tesla. We'll both benefit from it. Thanks in advance. Number 4, everyone wants to race me. Okay, either more people are watching YouTube videos and want to challenge a Tesla, or I'm just more aware of aggressive drivers nowadays. This would be a their problem situation, but the fact of the matter is, I kind of like it. Okay, hold on, I'm not out here drag racing, but when there's a chance to show my acceleration in a safe and mostly controlled way, I do it, and I love it. I didn't know it would be this exhilarating and fun, but I really do love how quick these cars are. Y'all be careful out there though. Control your need for speed. Number 5, the Apple-like ecosystem. If you're a tech person, then you may be familiar with Apple's seamless and controlled ecosystem. Teslas are very similar. Tesla does things Tesla's way, from software and hardware integration all the way to their own supercharger network. I started my EV journey with a Chevy Bolt, but once I joined Tesla, there was no looking away. I started with the Model X, then the Model 3, then the solar panels, then probably the Powerwall, and next, the Cybertruck. I didn't expect to get swept away like this, but little things like how the app monitors and details everything all in one place makes it such a seamless experience. I could check my solar panel generation and how much of that is going to my car. I mean, everything I need is right there. Finding superchargers is a breeze on the display, which is very efficient when it comes to road trips. I'll never forget how disjointed and clunky it was finding chargers for my Chevy Bolt. I always tell people who are thinking about getting a Tesla that they should only test drive it when they're ready to get one, because my favorite quote goes like this: if you try it, you'll buy it. Number 6, extra costs after purchase. These things are optional, but once the weather warmed up a bit, I realized that I need to get the windows tinted, especially on the Model X because of its huge windshield. And not all tint is created equally. I wanted one with IR and heat rejection that blocks the rays and keeps the interior cool respectively. There's a ton of research that went into which tint to get, and there's a misconception that the darker the tint, the cooler it keeps your car. The fact of the matter is that the quality and specifications of the tint matter more, so I went with a 70% dub IR on my windshield to keep it as transparent as possible while keeping us cool and protected. There's definitely a noticeable difference, but that high quality tint and high degree of difficulty with the mega windshield of the Model X comes at a cost. It could be from $800 up to $1,600 depending on where you go. And if the installer tells you that they can't do the Model X front windshield and the Model 3Y rear glass all in one piece, find another installer. The next one is more about the aesthetics of the car. Teslas lack a traditional front grille. This means that they attract bugs and rocks like crazy. Look at what my 2006 Lexus looked like after 200,000 miles, even with a grille. So I recommend a PPF or paint protection film to help with this. Prices vary with the brand, quality, and coverage. Whether you just want to get the bra, full front, or whole car, you can spend from $800 up to $7,000. Again, optional, and shop around if you're interested. Number 7, the community. I've never been or felt a part of a car community the way that I do now. If it's meeting other enthusiasts at a supercharger or just a wave and a nod to another Tesla driver on the road, it feels like we're all in a club. I've had genuine and organic conversations with other drivers, and I still keep in touch with some of them. It's a really cool experience. There are also driver meetups all over, so you can check around and see if there's one in your area. And of course, the online forums, Twitter, and the YouTube space is full of great, helpful Tesla owners. I never would have guessed that it would be like this. And finally, a fun one at number 8, the stock prices. I wish that I would have known that the Tesla stock was going to grow like this. I bought my first shares in the middle of 2020, and if I would have taken my $9,000 Model X deposit and invested it at $110 a share, I have close to $50,000 right now. I know, it's fun to think about, but that's more of a crystal ball type of wish list. I hope I was able to give you a few things to think about before you bought your Tesla, or if you already have one, what are some things that you wish you would have known about before buying it? When it's all said and done, Tesla is an amazing company with game-changing products. Thanks for watching, and don't forget, Cobra told ya. All right, y'all.